As you guys know, I have been calling for this bit of a bearish move in the crypto markets here, but I want to today look at things a little bit different, and I'm going to point out some potential bullish indications in the charts that we might not be getting as big of a pullback as I think. I still do think we're going to get a bigger pullback, but let's just dive into the charts and check it out. I'm even going to be taking a look at XRP. And if you guys think that sounds good, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and with that, let's get it. So basically, guys, going to start by looking at my Bitcoin logarithmic chart here. You guys know from my previous videos, I believe we're in this kind of an area here just because it's so close to all-time highs, just like we are right now, and we're seeing that same sort of a pullback. And that's kind of where this fractal pattern has been playing out so beautifully since June. I mean, you guys can look back to my June videos. I've been calling this general trend very well. And it's mostly thanks to this pattern, and it's been playing out to a T. So I'm just kind of expecting the same thing to happen where we retest that 618 rejection point around 13.5K. So possibly another week of red. I think it kind of depends where we close this weekly candle though. If we close below this Fibonacci line that it was currently testing as support, around that 16.2K, if we stay above that, we might not get as big of a pullback as I was expecting. But that being said, if we get a weekly close below 16.2 thousand, I do think that's where we're going to test the next fib line, which is my target of 13.5 thousand. So that's really just if this trend or this fractal pattern, I guess, continues to play out so similarly. It doesn't have to, and obviously none of this is financial advice. Always do your own research, form your own opinions, but I'm just showing you what's been making my trading life fairly easy for basically the last half a year, guys. And anyone who's been tuning into this channel knows I've been playing the macro swing of this, or pointing it out very well. So I'm gonna dive into an interesting pattern that I am seeing develop on a shorter time frame, guys, which is just, again, a reason why it could be more bullish. Once again, I really do think that there is a chance that this is one big bear flag here forming on a shorter time frame. But let's jump into the bullish pattern here. Guys, looking at this purple trend line, I'm going to consider it a bit of a bump and run pattern. And you may remember that from some YouTubers were talking about it at the end of our bear market. We had this descending triangle line carry it through, and as soon as we started getting candle body closes above it and testing it as support, that's kind of where Bitcoin started exploding once again, guys, right? And so if we jump back over to the 15-minute chart, you can see we have kind of the same thing, obviously a much shorter time frame, but just that kind of a trend line as well. We might have this very kind of a little bit of a rounding bottom, which could end up turning us into a little bit of a cup and handle, but obviously that's very speculative at this point. None of that has to happen, but just looking at theories here for now, guys. If this pattern were to play out as more of a bear flag, that's where I'm kind of watching this red trading range here, a bit of a rising wedge. So we'll have to see if we continue coiling up in this pattern or not. But there's also another pattern that I'm watching. Let me just clean this up for you guys here. Sorry, I'm doing a little bit of freestyling. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, but I'm gonna just make a yellow trend line here, a little bit of a triangle, because you guys know I fucking love triangles. And then I will also give it a bit of a bottom here. Let's just extend it like so. And make that green just because it's support. So right now, guys, we did form this bit of a triangle after breaking that bump and run pattern, and we did find support along the old resistance of that line. So all in all, that's actually looking not so bad to me, you guys. If I jump back to my daily Bitcoin chart, guys, look at this triangle. I drew it out the same here. I got that yellow resistance, green support, green support. That's the bottom of our bear market, you guys. Look at that. This dump followed by that type of a consolidation. Look at this dump on the 15-minute chart followed by that kind of a consolidation. You guys, that's a very, very similar chart pattern. And remember how bearish everybody was down at 3K? Everyone was calling for like $700, $800, $1,200 Bitcoin, stuff like that. Just like right now, everybody, including myself, are calling for way lower, like 13,000. That's a number that I'm seeing more and more every day, you guys. And just how bearish everybody is. Maybe everyone's not going to get that pullback to 13,000 that they're hoping for. Just like everybody thought that we had to fill that CME gap at 9.6 thousand, you guys. Down at 9,600, everyone was screaming that we had to fill that gap, and that has not even come close to happening yet. And people just aren't getting that buy opportunity that they thought was a sure thing, and that could be what's happening again. We'll have to see how this old line of resistance holds as support, and if it can do the same thing that it did to end the bear market and start this whole beautiful bullish rally all the way up to 14,000, you guys. Like, really, what we're seeing right now is very similar to this type of a move, you guys. If I were to, well, yeah, I'll just move over, but yeah, what we're seeing right here, there's a good chance that's just kind of what we're seeing right now, you guys, right? Just a big violent pullback, testing old levels of support. That looks pretty much identical, you guys. So maybe that is actually the end of the dump. Again, I'm ready for both scenarios, you guys, because I never panic sold my hodl position. I'm just more so I'm trading a little more conservatively right now because I'm not as confident in what the market is doing. I don't feel like I have a perfect grasp of what's going on right now. But all in all, this looks like a very potentially bullish pattern, as bearish as everybody is. Guys, I'm going to do something a little different for you today. I'm going to take a look at XRP on the 1 hour chart here, and that's just because I noticed a very familiar looking pattern to how I had played Bitcoin extremely bullish back in July, when everyone else was calling for further downside, and I was one of the only people that I saw talking about how bullish I thought the market actually was. So I just want to take a look at this potential pattern again here. I just want you to notice that we do have this line of support from previous consolidation, and I just kind of carried that out, extended it, you guys, and then after we had this blow off top and we ended up trading back to the downside, I took a support line from the bottom of that range and extended it, and it's going along the top of this channel that you guys can see right now, and we tested it beautifully here. You can see we topped out on that. And now I want to go over and look at Bitcoin's daily chart and look back here. You guys may remember back in July, yeah, right here, everybody was so bearish on the market because we were looking like we were going to drop into the abyss. But I was saying that we were testing this support line so strongly and we weren't dropping. So eventually, if support isn't going to break, eventually they're going to have to test the upside, right? And even though it was a bit of a fake out and we did have our plunge right back onto that support line, again, everyone thought we were so bearish and we were going to continue the move to the downside, just like right now, guys. But we're testing the exact same thing. You can see we ended up testing the channel, which is the support of this trend line here. And then we get this little bit of a triangle forming, and XRP kind of did the same thing. You can see it reacted a little bit different because back here, we immediately got a bunch of green candles. Maybe that's just because FOMO kicked in because it's a daily pattern. But here you can see we started closing red candles along it, but we did technically get a bit of a support flip. One other similarity I want to see is just how long this triangle took to break out, even though it's so small. From where we topped out in our channel here to our breakout candle, we got 19 bars, guys, okay? Remember that, 19 bars. Go back to Bitcoin. Let's go to where we topped out in this channel here. Started our triangle. Oh, sorry, it's not working here. To our breakout candle. 19 bars, guys. Okay, so that is technically the exact same time frame and everything. It does look a little different than it did after the breakout here. So we're going to have to see how this plays out. But guys, that's just something to consider. We did find support on Bitcoin and XRP right where I extended this channel, just like I did way back here when I was started playing this market so bullishly, because this is also where we broke out of my massive weekly channel, which I'll take a look at just to show you. So again, guys, just looking at my classic weekly triangle that I've been loving pointing out since way back, I think before COVID times even. But you can see here, this is kind of that area I'm talking about where we were finding support, and we had this little bit of a mini triangle inside my gigantic triangle. And I think I even made a video about that way back in the day, about just triangles inside triangles just waiting to break out, and that's absolutely what happened. So great to see that my macro analysis from so long ago is still holding true and helping to keep a level head about these crazy swings that are happening, you guys. Anyways, guys, I think that's all I have to share with you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you go out, have some fun this weekend. Try and keep your mind off the charts if you find you're too stressed out or anything. I know what I'm doing all day tomorrow, my weekend forecast, kite surfing with a chance of drinking. Me and buddies are going to go have a blast in the field. We can socially distance, be COVID safe, all that sort of stuff. So it's just great exercise. Going to get a ton of exercise tomorrow and just going to have a blast sending it. So if you appreciate this content, guys, again, one last time, please hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. And with that, stay safe, my friends. Have a great weekend. Happy Thanksgiving to you American listeners. And with that, I'm out. Peace.